California, Mr. Bond.
Here we are again.
Hello, Neil.
Hello, Stephen. Is this episode 9? This is
This is
episode 9.
episode 9.
It is.
9.
009. There we go. Here we are again. We have a very special show. We are going to speak to the Irish Bond Club, which we're very psyched about.
Yeah.
Very wonderful people, really great guys to talk to. We've been planning it for a long time, so
Yeah.
great
Great group of guys. Had a lot. You'll see. It's a fun conversation.
Fun conversation. We've never spoken to them one-on-one. It felt like old friends. So that was really great. So I can't wait for that. And what are we doing soon? We're going to a little screening of Thunderball.
Tonight is right after we finish this. We're hitting the road. And
what is the big news from Thunderball that we found out late last night? Sold out. Yeah, so we're very happy about that.
So if by the time we air this, it'll be over. So don't try to buy any tickets anyway. So.
But yeah, we're very gracious. We're very happy that our screening of Thunderball sold out, and it's gonna be a really fun night.
Luciana Paluzzi is our guest of
Luciana
honor.
Paluzzi. It's gonna be it's gonna be question and answer session with Stephen Rubin. So
yeah.
If you can time travel, then you can go back in time and see it. So
big night for Bond in Los Angeles.
We'll definitely post photos and all of that.
Yeah.
So yeah. What else do we have to talk about? Is there anything on your mind?
But Barbara Broccoli gave the okay to Denis Villeneuve
on a podcast. She said she can't think of a better director, but he's been pining for that for a long time. So I think she knew, so she was down for that. So I think we're all just waiting to see what he's going to do, who the new Bond will be. But I don't know when we're going to find that info out. So
I can tell you who the new Bond won't be.
Who?
It won't be me.
And it won't be me. So, which is fine. I don't want to be the new Bond.
Take us off the rumor list. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, we definitely
I want to be a young Jack
List.
Wade.
Yeah.
Rather than a.
Yeah, we're definitely on the new list. I don't know. I think it's going to be somebody we have that's not even on the radar.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all these this guy, but I think it'll be someone that we just don't know. So
I remember when they cast Craig, because it was for a while there was all those rumors about Idris Elba and then I think Clive Owen and there was a few other actors and they were all great. And then when they announced Daniel Craig, I remember thinking, wait, who's that guy? And I had to look, and the guy from Road to Perdition and Layer Cake, and it was a total surprise to me.
The Blonde Bond, remember that?
Yeah,
the Blonde Bond.
Yeah,
there's a website like wehatetheblondebond.com. Remember that?
Still going for?
I think so. Yeah,
take it down, guys. Come on.
I think so. Yeah, there was real hatred. But I think it worked out okay. So
yeah.
But yeah, so we shall see. We were trying to think what kind of news is happening, but it's been kind of slow. So so we're gonna make our own news. So we're gonna make our own news with the Irish Bond Club.
Mm-hmm.
Guys are really great. We we're kind of the same time when we came. They're a little older than us, but they're not by much. So I feel kind of a kinship with them. So they were super nice to talk with us and just compared notes, talked about our love of Bond, and here we are. So
yeah.
All right, Steve. So when we're done with this, we're going to Thunderball. Okay, man? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And thanks a lot, guys. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to another.
Hey.
Well, I don't know. It's kind of a double podcast. It's with two different clubs. So we're very happy to have the Irish Bond fan club with us. So thank you, guys. We've been planning this for quite a while, so thank you so much for being here. So
welcome to LA.
Welcome to LA.
Virtually.
Virtually. We finally get some sunshine. Yeah,
I know, right? I know. What is the temperature like there right now? What is it right now?
Well, it's
Go
very
ahead, guys.
muggy.
Very
muggy and cloudy. It's about 18 or 19. It's very warm, it's like a dead heat. It's
dead heat. Okay, yeah.
It's not the best. Not the best.
I'm gonna flex a little because I'm not actually in Ireland.
Oh, okay.
I'm in the north of Spain.
Where
it's 10 o'clock at night.
Beautiful.
I'm in my Thunderball t-shirt.
Nice.
And I don't know if you can see around me. but it's
Oh,
a
wow.
beautiful like
Wow, you're really out and about.
20
Oh, wow.
26. Yeah, listen, I it's actually my wedding anniversary,
Oh,
and
congratulations.
we're out with the kids.
Happy
So
anniversary.
I'm
Right now,
skiving off to
it's
do a
this
bot
day.
right now. So I'm a few champagnes in. So
Okay. So
if
Oh,
things get a
good.
little
Nice.
hairy,
okay.
I accept no responsibility.
Okay. Wow.
Is it today? Is it today, Paul? Is it?
It's today,
Wow,
yeah.
you have a
Eight
very
years,
patient
It's
eight
wife.
years
it's
ago today.
it's
You have a
my
very
Well,
wedding
patient.
anniversary as well today.
frankly, I think she's glad to be rid of me at this point.
Okay.
For a
Okay.
while, yeah.
That's
I'd say
great.
it's my
So
wedding
yeah,
anniversary as well today. So it is.
it's no way.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, it is
amazing.
today. Yeah.
Congrats,
Oh, wow.
Sean.
Oh,
Wow.
Same
congratulations.
to you. Yeah, yeah.
Wow, look at
That's why I'm
this.
having a drink.
There you go.
Everyone in Ireland
So my
gets
too.
married
So
in
there
June.
you
In
go. So
June.
there you
Cheers,
go.
cheers,
I
lads.
feel
There
I
you
feel
go.
very odd one
Cheers.
out all of a sudden.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
the
Well,
29th of July
Anyway.
to me.
no, I was mentioning before you came on that I'm a big admirer of your podcast, and I feel like I'm watching the podcast right now, but I'm in it. So,
Yeah.
Who's in
so
whose podcast?
I
This is
know,
all
right?
very meta, isn't
I
it?
know, right? So
I was even actually confused earlier today. I was talking to Tom at the theater, and I said, "Oh, Neil and I have a podcast with the guys from Ireland." And then I thought to myself, "Wait a minute, is this ours or theirs? I don't know."
it's a mutual one. It's a mutual one.
Funnily enough, I asked that question earlier. I said, "Are we with them or are they with us?"
You guys can
Yes.
air this, and we can air it. We can both put it out
Yeah,
at the same
we're
time.
easy.
So, yeah.
Oh, happy days.
Yeah. So
Andy is the one to put things in perspective. He's always the one who goes, "Where's the link?" And we're like, Jesus, Andy. And then he goes, "Whose podcast is it?" And then we actually go, "Actually, I don't know. That's a good question, my friend."
Well, at least we all showed up, so that's the main part. Sort of.
We
Well,
made
it's
it.
kind of like we're both similar, I think, in some respects. We're both, I guess, relatively new clubs.
Yeah.
You're a lot newer than we are,
Yeah.
but we're kind of regional clubs. We're kicking it off, doing screenings and stuff. So we have a lot in common. But I think we can learn a lot from you guys because the what you've been doing with the screenings and now getting like one alumni in as well. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So we're here to take notes, guys. Just let you know. That's all.
Well, the weird thing. Well, I guess we're going to talk about how we made our clubs, right? Is that what you suggested? Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Yes. Whatever people are interested in, we'll talk about.
I think so. So, I guess I'll just start because I took influence from your club. I had watched a lot of YouTube stuff, and I mean, I work in film, but I live in Los Angeles, and I was like, well, there's got to be like a Bond club here or something. And I looked it up. I mean, I'm very passionate for a long since I was like 12, so I've been really into it all my life. But I looked it up, and there was no club or organization, which I was shocked because it's such a film town, and so and there's screenings occasionally, but there's nothing like regular. So I started to put inquiries on Craigslist, and I was watching David Zaritsky's stuff, and I watched the video where he spoke with you guys and your president John. I listened to how he would go on Facebook and target people and ask them, how because I had no idea. How do you get names? Like, I have no idea. So I put an ad out on Reddit, and then Steve found me on Reddit, and that's how we met. And we were both like in sync in what we wanted to actually do. And Steve had been to Gatherall. You had been to it, right? So
yeah, it was last summer. I went. My brother and I were there, and it was a ton of people there. It was like almost, I think, 300 people or something.
Yeah.
And so I talked to David Zaritsky for like just very briefly, and he goes, "Oh wow, Los Angeles, what's going on in LA?" And I said, "Well, there's tons of Bond stuff." Like I was already like the Cocktails and Canapes event. I went to my girlfriend and I went to see Gloria Hendry perform at the Jazz Club, and she did a whole night of Bond music, and she was a lot of fun. And so there's stuff to do, but there wasn't like it didn't feel like there was any really community or any kind of group. So Zaritsky's like, "Well, when you go back, why don't you do something about that?" And even my brother and dad were like, "Hey, yeah." And my brother he lives in Washington D.C. and he's a member of Capital Royale. And when I came back to LA after last summer, I thought to myself, okay, well, Capital Royale's doing this, and then and the guys in Ireland are doing this, and well, right now the Great Britain club there, and the French club, and German club, and the Swiss club, those guys are huge. Like they've been doing it for a long time, and they've got the big events like Operation Pegasus and all that stuff. So I thought, well, I mean, can't do anything like that, at least not right off the bat. And I don't know if I'm going to step on anybody's toes. So let me poke around. And I waited actually like maybe a month or so. And then I looked again. And that's when I saw Neil's Reddit post. And I thought, oh, perfect, perfect. Somebody else is into this. So let me reach out. And then we went out and had a couple drinks and just.
That was last September. Yeah, wasn't that September? Yeah, last September. And then
wow, so you're less than a year old.
yeah, and then we had a meeting.
Jeez.
Finally, we were like, well, we just got to have a meeting. We don't know who's going to show up. So I had a friend who had written for a lot of Bond magazines. His name is John Cox. He's been around for a long time. And he said, well, why don't you talk to these people? These people may show up. So one of them did, and they brought up about 5 to 8 people, and we just sat around at this
It was the Bounty, the HMS
the
Bounty.
HMS Bounty, which is a dive bar in Los Angeles with cocktails, and we all talked about Bond for like 3 hours, and we all had a great time. And then we just did it every single month, and then I feel like I could go on and on, but then
but the Culver Theater, I think it was the second thing that we did, right?
They were screening GoldenEye, which was independent of us. They were doing a '90s festival, and go ahead.
I want to find out more about the Culver Theater in a minute because you seem to have created a great relationship with them. But first of all, I just want to point out how very, very rock and roll of you it was to put basically a message on a notice board. It's like the garage band thing to do. Right? It's a very, very cool way to start the club. I mean, John basically did the same thing, right, lads? He just, like, as you say, targeted people, and he said, and you know, if you meet the right kind of person with the right kind of vibe, and you're like, hey, yeah, let's do it, you know?
Yeah.
And it's really nice to see that you've gotten momentum so quickly.
Yeah, I think there's been a hunger for it, I think.
Yeah. When we weren't expecting it, I'll be honest. We literally sat down and said, hey, let's do like meetups, happy hours, you know, real chill and
which we do. We do that still, you know.
Yeah.
I mean? So, you know.
But we didn't like set out to do screen. We didn't really know. We were just kind of, let's be open and receptive. And so we were thinking, honestly, like maybe in a couple years we can rent a hall and like 50 people will show up or something like that. And we didn't know like today is going to be, you know, a sold out screening with a Bond girl.
Yeah, that's incredible.
What sort of numbers are you getting at your showings then?
Well, the first one was 140 people. The second, that was for Dr. No. Second one was 160. This one is definitely over 200. It's sold out. So,
wow.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's going to be a little packed. So, you know, we're happy about it. But we
can hope for that when it comes to the big show we're trying to do for GoldenEye. That's the dream.
I mean, the thing is, we met the Culver Theater at GoldenEye. So Steve connected with them very quickly on their social media for GoldenEye, and they became aware of us. The manager is very social media based. So, and then at GoldenEye, we met the manager, Tom, and we spoke with him. And I just stayed on Tom so we said we'd like to do Bond nights. And he's a Bond fan, so that helped. But I stayed on him for about 3 months, and I didn't hear from him for a while. And then he wrote me in January, and he was like, okay, I cleared all the bases. We can do this. I mean, it helps. They're owned by Amazon, so I think
that's right. Yes, they are. Yeah.
So
people have asked me there've been a few screenings here and there, like the Alamo Draft House, or somebody will throw, you know, like kind of like a Goldfinger night, and they'll get to screen Goldfinger, and they reach out and go, "How are you guys screening all of these movies? What are you paying for it?" And we're like, "Well, we got lucky because
we don't." It's a mutual agreement where it's beneficial for us both. So we bring in the people and they provide.
Yeah, like what cinema is getting a full house on a Tuesday night? You know, so,
I know
it's win-win
with one of the stars in there as well.
I know.
Exactly. Add that to the mix.
Yeah, it's been really fun, and we've had guests. We had Stephen Rubin for Dr. No, Richard Shankman, who's one of the father of Bond.
God.
Yeah, so he came and spoke. Did Bondage Fan Magazine, talked about being on Living Daylight set, and that was really great. And so we try and get somebody in every single time.
Correct me if I'm wrong. On one of the screenings, you did like a short beforehand with an interview with Fleming, one of the classic interviews, didn't you? I thought that was a tremendous idea. I was like, we should have thought of that. That was
we do like a little 20-minute show before, so it's kind of like a cut. It's just like a cerebral sort of thing of clips and ephemera from Bond that's themed towards the movie you're going to watch.
Yeah. And it could be anything from, we
funny.
try to stay away from anything that's on a DVD or a bonus feature, anything people have already seen. So, and there's a surprising number of stuff that's like for the Thunderball tonight, we found some great clips that aren't on any DVDs or Blu-rays that neither one of us had seen before. And, and there's spoofs and sketches. Like on Dr. No, we had a Sesame Street sketch, and for the Living Daylights, we had a great clip of Timothy Dalton and Mae West singing Captain and Chief from the movie Sextet. So it's like the audience gets a kick out of it.
Fantastic. Where did you dig up the Sesame Street? Where did you dig up all this stuff that we haven't seen before?
In the deep recesses of the internet and YouTube, basically. I mean, it's just
where all the healthy people hang out.
Deep, dark places. There's different levels of YouTube.
Even after we put together the pre-show, we find clips that this would have been great. I shared on our group's stories today or yesterday. There was a great, it wasn't specifically for Thunderball, but it was from the same year. It was a commercial for Burton Pants, 007 Action Slacks. And it's got a guy literally in these nice slacks running through a field while a machine gun is shooting at him.
Sounds like a guy going into a nightclub hitting on girls going, I got my action slacks on.
Extra pockets, all that good stuff.
Extra pockets.
But I love the fact that you had your guy. I saw it today, and I'm a big Thunderball fan. I'd never seen the ad before, and I was looking at it going, what am I watching? This is fantastic. And then an Aston Martin appears. So if anyone has
at the very end the lady shows up.
Check it. It is
I'll have to check it out,
for Burton. Burton of all places.
I know, and I was looking for something totally different to put in the stories, and I ran across that and went, what? And I didn't even Google anything that was even remotely related to Action Slacks or James. Just okay.
Wait, won't you be?
Well, I'm definitely Googling Action Slacks after this call. But Steve, are you are you also in the movie business or adjacent to it, or what? If
you ever get bored one night and hit IMDb, there's a couple things with my face in it.
Wow.
There's actually I'm in a movie.
Looks like you're being IMDb'd
the movie
right
poster
now,
is literally a take on For Your. Oh no!
Doing it now, Steve. Gonna do this.
You look like you're in
one
right
movie.
now.
You also write screenplays
where the poster is like a riff on For Your Eyes Only. But it's not family friendly, so I wouldn't watch it.
Okay, all right.
But you also have written screenplays, and you've done a lot of stuff.
I've written screenplays. I knew I made it. The day I made it was when one of the scripts I wrote, that movie actually got made. It was a kid's movie. And sometime later, I was standing in line at the grocery store buying frozen pizza and a 6-pack of beer. And there it was at the checkout. I was like, all right.
And you knew you'd made it.
It was one of those movies.
Yeah.
And Neil, what is it that you do in the movie business, if I may be so bold as to ask?
Yeah, sure. I've been working in the business on and off for about 25 years. In New York, I worked in production on Sesame Street and for the Jim Henson Company.
Amazing.
I did that. That was really fun. And I've just done a lot of production capacity in LA, from like America's Next Top Model, reality shows, that sort of stuff. And just commercials. It's a freelance sort of job, but I mean, I do that and graphic design as well. So I do those.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, and I write and I
exciting.
do a bunch of stuff online as well. So yeah. So it's
That's incredible. Yeah.
It's good is that working in production and admin, it helps us like plan these things and stay on top of coordination and all that. So, but you guys plan. What do you? So, why don't you guys talk about how you go about what you guys do?
Ours is much more of a punk rock approach than yours. It's like get a venue, tell people about it, go in and make a lot of noise. And
it's more like a let's wing it, Mrs. Bell,
Okay.
John Lennon, who started it, did it basically like that. He says, "I'm just going to take a punt. I'm going to find a cinema, a theater that will, not break the bank to rent.
Okay.
See how many people will come down, and that's what we did. And
that's great.
We weren't getting the kind of numbers that you're getting. We're still not, but we did get a sort of a core group of people who were interested. And now we've kind of found this other connection. An independent, not a fan club, but a guy who runs a cinema north of Dublin, who's kind of a fan as well, and he's managed to get Caroline Munro, and who else has he got? Madeline Smith, I think, is coming over as well at the end of the year. So we're getting our first sort of Bond alumni in our.
Oh, that's great! Awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
So that's going to be fun. We're going to be promoting that and like working with them. So we're just making all these little connections and going out and doing stuff like that. So, I mean, we're also like doing stuff with where we can with other groups, like traveling to events in London and wherever. I'm based in Switzerland now, so I'll be doing stuff with the Swiss Club and stuff like that.
Wow. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's
I
a
didn't realize
new
that.
thing for me. Well, it's just this month, since July. My family and I moved there. My wife is Swiss, so I'm JBCI's Station Z Zurich. That's me now.
So you're going to be at like Physical or like concert.
Yeah, head up
you're
to
going to be
I'm going to be doing my best to get as many Irish over to Piz Gloria. We're going to trash the place.
Okay.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we have people everywhere,
We have people everywhere. That's right. But I was actually
you're in County Switzerland. Paul is where you are, and I think Neil and Steve can now be in County LA. And extended versions of where we're coming from here. But yeah,
it's basically so.
Make it worldwide,
Yes.
Did you when I was in LA for the first time in I think October 2023, and I met Jocelyn from Ladies Who Bond.
Steve knows her. Yeah, Steve knows her.
She's lovely. Now I met her.
Yeah, I've talked to her. She's very nice. Yeah,
she's very nice. I didn't, unfortunately, meet John Williams. John Williams, who lives out in Palm Springs. I didn't realize that until I got back.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He's the guy who does the music. Music
Bond.
Big music. He's a fantastic guy. I'd love to meet him as well.
I think I've texted with him on Instagram. I've talked to someone from there. That must be him. So
yeah, I mean, we're constantly trying to, connect the dots in places about just people we like, So I mean, now that we have you guys, it's just an excuse to save up some money and take a trip over to stateside, So
we got plenty of movies to choose from now. We already had our next year's lineup is already.
Yeah, they already confirmed, so we're very happy. We have a full year.
Oh, fabulous!
Yeah, there was
amazing.
I was nervous at first because they were like, "Well, if it does well, then we'll continue." But by the time we did Daylights, they were like, okay, it's fine, guys. So I was very happy.
Great. That's great.
Yeah.
We honestly thought okay, Dr. No was really strong out of the gate, but maybe that's because it's the first one, and then it's it's Connery, it's in Doc. So maybe, Living Daylights might be a bit of a hard sell. Not for us. We love Dalton. That's one of our favorites. And,
But, that was packed too. That was really good.
Tons of people felt the same way, which was really cool.
We tried to get him to come too. We
can stop it right here. We know you're our people now. That's enough.
I love
as long as you're Dalton fans.
I love Dalton, man.
Oh yeah.
One of our first meetings, that we did, our question was, "Who's your favorite Bond?" So we all said Connery, but then everyone was like, "Who's your most authentic Bond?" And we said, everybody said Dalton. So I mean, he's the closest, I think. I mean, from the books and all that. So
it's true. I mean, it's a fun question. Who's your most authentic Bond? It's like, who's your most Roger Moore like Bond? Probably Roger Moore.
But I love him
because
Dalton,
he just screams. I'm the same.
Yeah.
I mean, I just they're all great.
Bond for every mood. That's what I like to say.
100%. 100%. Yeah. Well, we're doing our screening slightly differently from yourselves. Like you were doing a bit of a pick of different films. We're trying to go down the line of the anniversary films.
Oh, that's cool. So, that's good.
Yeah. Say this year, what we were saying before, we've had Thunderball, we've had A View to a Kill, we have Spectre now in September, and then we're gearing up for a big event with GoldenEye 30 years in November. So we sort of take a different approach and try and get next year is going to be a bit tighter, but we might find a few more films, I'm sure. But
it's like we've said before, though, Sean. Every year's an anniversary.
Yeah, it is.
It is. I'll show GoldenEye tomorrow never dies. Worth enough day out day every year if you want, please. I don't mind.
Yeah, no, that's really good. Where do you guys see your club expand? Do you want it to grow more, get larger venues, or what do you guys? What are your plans?
Well,
if I don't mean to put you on the spot there, but
no, absolutely. It's a great question, especially when we're I wouldn't say we're like as well established as some of the other groups, but we're a little bit more mature now than when we started. And we have a core group of people that come see us in Ireland. Then there's more people who follow us online, both in Ireland and abroad. And we find people just react to the stuff that we do, that is fun, that is connected to Bond, and also throws out maybe a little Irish connection. So people reacted well to, for example, the podcast that we did on Joanna Harwood, where we
that was really great.
That was amazing.
That that was great.
Thank you very much for that. We were really, I mean, Joanna herself is getting on and doesn't do many interviews, so we had really the next best thing, and I don't mean that in any way derogatory. We spoke to this wonderful journalist called Sean McCreevy, and he was totally passionate about Joanna, and being able to uncover that, a genuine piece of sort of Bond stuff. There was very little in there that hadn't been exposed before, but it may have been exposed before, but it was still kind of under the radar. Not a lot of people know about the story of her. So we found doing that to be valuable for ourselves as well as for just any casual Bond fan who might be following us. So it's really servicing people who want to follow us in that way. Rather than, let's say, growing a massive community online, because that's like becoming a Monopoly millionaire. It's great, but it only goes so far, right? Making the connections, going to the events, meeting the people. That's that. I know you've met David Zaritsky. He's always telling that story, but he's right. I mean, that is a huge boon. Just makes you feel good. You have a lot of fun. And honestly speaking, people like David, people like there's lots of them from various clubs around who are just willing to lend you their time, their enthusiasm, their experience, and it really motivates you. It brings you along, and you realize, hey, if I wanted to do something, maybe I could start something, and maybe people will come along, and it's just getting that extra sort of push. For people who might be just sitting in their rooms going, oh yeah, it's nice, but should I join? Should I start something? It's just a whole momentum, we're still, there's so much talk about the ills of social media, but we're still kind of in a community that's doing a good thing. It's connecting people in a positive way.
Mainly positive.
And really, if we can push that forward and keep it going, and keep it interesting, keep digging up new stuff, or maybe stuff that hasn't been really thrashed out before very well, and highlighting it to newer fans, going along with the ride as soon as the Amazon Films things start to come to fruition, bringing on new fans if we can. But we tend to be a certain demographic, gentlemen of a certain shall we say vintage. How do we get kids on? I tried managing a TikTok account once. I was like, oh Jesus, this is too hard, But it would be nice if we had younger people on as well, because there are some people out there, people for whom the GoldenEye generation are now aging into immaturity. So whatever we can do to bring people along with us who are enjoying it, who are having fun, we're there for. That's kind of what we see ourselves doing.
That's great.
Bringing value, deeper rather than wider kind of approach for now.
That's great. No, that's great.
Nice. I like the idea of stealing the pre-show though as well.
You can do it. Hey guys, go for it. No, we don't. I took it from the draft. Draft House is a chain here, which they do a pre-show. Well, the Culver Theater asked us, do you want to do something like that? We're like, sure, why not? So they do, like, when you walk in, rather than watching 100 commercials, this chain, the Draft House, they have like themed clips based around what you're going to watch.
Nice.
Ours is more honed in on just Bond. So, but I mean, we don't own that. So you guys are more than welcome to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and we always, the day after any of our screenings, we always put up our pre-show.
They're on YouTube if you want to watch it. Yeah. So,
and every once in a while they'll cut one or two clips out for copyright, but they're basically you can see what we do, and just take it and run with it.
Yeah,
fantastic.
It took us till earlier this year for the four of us to stand up and talk before the show started.
Well, that's I always have to take a deep breath, and tonight I'm trying to. I mean, I can talk in front of people, I don't care, but I always have to like take a deep breath. And tonight I'm visualizing like a huge like mass of people. And then for Richard Shankman, there was no moderator, so it was just us. So we had to get up there and like, I mean, so that I can do it.
At one point, I blanked in front of like 160 some people. Neil's like, Steve, do you have any other questions? And I literally went.
I always have questions. No. So I mean,
did you go? Do you by chance own any action packs?
Those action slacks, Mr. Shankman.
That's the action.
Are you wearing your slacks? It's always funny when it's slacks.
What's been fun is that like people like Richard Shankman, Stephen Rubin, these are people when I was young, I'd read their books or read about them.
Yeah.
And then you're actually meeting them. Like Steve Rubin came in. I was like, "Can you sign my book? Because this book is like one of the original books that I ever had about like the making of Bond." And he's like, "Sure, I'd love to." So now, I mean, I'm talking to him, and he's going to be here tonight. It's been fun getting to know these people, and I mean, Bond is just a commonality that you can just talk about, and it kind of brings you all in. So it's really great. So.
It's funny, you were mentioning earlier about younger kids, like not really getting into it. There's, we're men of a certain age. So a couple of years ago, my nephew, he's going to be 10 next month. So a few years ago, I'm hanging out with him and I'm like, "Hey, buddy, you want to watch James Bond with Uncle Steve?" And he looked me dead in the eye and said, "James Bond is for old people." And I just,
no.
cut my heart out. But then I watched Thunderball. I just went off into the room by myself and said, "Well, I'm going to watch Thunderball." And then literally as the movie starts, he comes in and goes, "Oh, this is James Bond." And he sits down, and he watches the whole thing with me and is like, "Ah, that's pretty cool."
Yeah.
And he was kind of touch and go, but now he's getting, because he's, like I said, I think that's like kind of the perfect age, 10, 11, 12, you start, you gotta go, hey, there's a bunch of stuff in there that I'm really interested in.
The thing, what we had here during the big anniversary, they showed all of the films.
Oh yeah, I read about
cinemas.
That. Yeah.
And I took my youngest with me, and she would have been at the time, she was about 12 or 13 at the time.
Okay.
And she really enjoyed them, and now we'll sit and watch them with me.
That's great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Back to sitting in the cinema watching it, and
that's good.
Oh, that's great.
And my son, he just turned 3. I mean, he hasn't seen a Bond film yet, but he knows that I deal with this, and he asked me once, "Do you work with James Bond?" And I said, sort of, but he was like, "Can I meet him one day?" I said, "Sure," but I mean more of like in the movies. But I was like, "Yeah, that would be great." I don't know if he would meet James Bond, if that would go over like if somehow he was able to meet Bond. I don't know what Bond would be like with kids, but I don't know. So,
but, you know what? It is nice because I have twin boys. They're 5, and around about when they were 3. I would go out to one of the James Bond Club Ireland's cinema events, and they would go, "Where are you going, Daddy?" And I would tell them, and they would go, "Is James Bond going to be there?" And yeah, in a matter of speaking, yeah. And it is adorable. And now they know he's a fictitious character. Yeah. And like, I was at the pool reading a book today, and they were like, "Daddy, is that James Bond?" And everybody in the whole place, "It's James Bond." Yeah. You're outed immediately. But they know what they sort of like it in bite-sized chunks. Like they like the opening sequence of A View to a Kill, because it's got helicopters and snowboarding and what have you. So all that kind of stuff it's just lovely watching kids get into it. But
I watched Octopussy. I was at my parents' house last summer and just working whatever, and I had Octopussy on. Didn't know my nephew was sitting in the room with me, and after the opening sequence with the little jet and everything, he comes running in front of the TV and he points at it. "Uncle Steve, that's the coolest thing I ever saw! Wow!" That made me feel good.
Brilliant.
How many of you have seen actual James Bonds, like the actors? I've only seen Roger Moore live, and that was it. So I don't know. What about you guys?
Yeah. Likewise, both me and Sean, not knowingly, were at the same event, which was just literally a couple of months before he passed.
Oh, really? Okay.
I saw Timothy Dalton years ago buying his newspaper in W.H. Smith in Chiswick.
Okay.
Doing his thing one day.
Oh, nice.
And this was a good while ago. It was just it was after License to Kill, but then it was in the hiatus. He would come in and pick it up, and I was like,
"That's cool."
I did not know that.
Didn't have the courage. Cool. I was very young. Obviously, I was very young. I didn't have the courage to to go up and say, "Excuse me, Mr. Dalton again."
We tried to get him to come to Daylights. I talked to his people, and I think he lives here in LA. So we're gonna. Well, I can't. I've heard his second film may be around for us soon. So I may try again. So, but it's just I don't know. I don't know. Richard Shankman was like, "Well, he lives right here," and I'm like, "Does he?" Because I tried, but I don't think his people connected what was actually going on. So I may have to hardcore be on them more. So.
Good luck with that. And if you get Dalton, I will get a Ryanair flight or
we'll be there.
I'll get a steerage on a ship. I will get over there.
Yeah. Richard Shankman drank with him on the set of License to Kill, actually. Like, the crazy thing, I love his story about it, and he's told it a bunch of times. But, like, Timothy Dalton was very confused at what Richard Shankman was doing there, like, for Daylights. And then into License to Kill, he was still like, "Why are you here?" And so his Cubby Broccoli gave him the authorization to come and, talk to everybody. And he finally, he said to him, like, "Well, haven't you ever liked someone so much that you wanted to know everything about it or a subject?" And he said, "Well, I like this. I love this guy that played football." I forget who the guy was. And then he was like, "Wouldn't you like to have known everything about him?" And then he was like, "No, I wouldn't have liked it." So finally he came up to him at one point, and then he was like, "Okay, I understand now. You're trying to understand how we make these movies." And then he said, "Yes, and you love." And from that, James Bond opens that up into movie making. And he's like, "Exactly." And then from that, he said he was just wonderful. Not that he wasn't wonderful to begin with, but he was like, "Okay, I understand who you are and why." And then he took him out for drinks. But I think it's so funny. Cool. I think it's hilarious that he was like, "Why are you here? Why are you here right now?" But it's
why are you staring at me?
I know. So, but he actually,
what is your value to this production?
I know, right? So that's fun though. But everything I've heard about him, he is very nice. So I would love to meet him. So I mean,
so would we all. He's the golden goose.
Worked on the Doom Patrol, did the voice of Herschel the Giant Spider, so never actually got to work with any of the actors on set. And was at Warner Brothers doing something else one day, and on the way out decided to get a sandwich at the cafeteria or one of the little coffee shops, and the guy standing in line in front of him was Timothy Dalton.
Jeez.
So and the way he told the story was he politely tapped him on the shoulder and says, "Excuse me, Mr. Dalton, but we work on the same show." And he immediately went, "Herschel!" Great big, like,
oh my God,
and everything. So I was like, "Oh man, you met James Bond. That's so cool."
I'm wearing that in a t-shirt for the rest of my life.
You met James Bond. My stepmother met him. She's a journalist, like right after License to Kill in like 91, 92. So he was doing that miniseries Scarlet. Remember the sequel to Gone with the Wind?
Oh yeah.
So she was, I don't think she might have interviewed him, I'm not sure, but she said, "Well, my stepson is tremendously into James Bond. Can you sign?" So she just had this business card. So I actually have it still. And what he said is, he
signed it.
He did. He said, "I always have time for James Bond fans." I don't know if he's like that now, but that's what he said in 1991.
Wow.
So I was very happy. But I think it was still like in that golden period where he thought maybe he would come back.
Still under contract.
Yeah. So I do have it still. So I'm very happy about that. So
well, I had the privilege of meeting George Lazenby, who also had time for James Bond fans, but at $30 a pop. No, cool. I was very lucky. I was at the 50th anniversary of Majesty's in Shiltorn, and had a lot of the casting and crew from the film, and I mean, Jenny Hanley, Vic Armstrong, and they were all lovely, all dying to share their experience. In particular, Vic Armstrong. I mean, I just thought I'd get the chance to press the flesh and say hi. You just talked about his experiences on Ireland. Other Irish stuntmen he knew. I mean, he was so friendly and so open. And the same with John Glenn. John Glenn was just wonderful.
Yeah.
I said, "Look, Mr. Glenn, I hold you personally responsible for the addiction that I hold to this day for being a Bond fan."
Oh man, yeah, that guy's great.
He found it very funny, and that was lovely, And George is a character for sure. He was there as well. But
that's the event that Cue Music played. Yes.
That's correct.
Yeah, I saw that performance on YouTube.
I watched the YouTube.
That was an amazing show.
It was great. And I mean, it was a lightning strike in terms of the weather we got as well, because it was in the middle of summer, and they, up in the Alps, obviously the weather can change very, very quickly. And they had just had a fresh snowfall a few days before. So the mountains were covered in beautiful snow. Ooh. And then the clouds all cleared. And so by the evening time, you had that beautiful sunset. And it was just like you could picture the helicopters coming along.
Nice.
With,
I'd love to go there.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So yeah, that was one to behold, one to remember.
I wanted to ask you guys. Oh no, what? Sorry, I remember up. So
no. I was just rounding off.
When John first contacted you guys, what was your first thought when you first became aware of what he was trying to actually do? I'm curious.
Well, both Paul and myself have got a similar story. When his name came up as John Lennon.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
and you go, this is spam.
Yeah, of course.
Well, once I figured out what he was doing, I was like, I haven't heard of this guy before, because there were a few sort of Irish names that I'd seen around, a couple of sort of dormant accounts, but I'd never. I was like, actually, this guy, what this guy's doing, somebody should be doing this. And I was like, I had been making a nuisance of myself on other people's, YouTube comments and Instagram stuff like that. So I was a couple of people knew me. I was like, there's nothing going on in Ireland except this guy. This guy started something. So I was like, I need to get in touch with this guy. And then I met him, and he was so lovely and easy to get on with. He was one of those people who could work a room really naturally. He didn't seem to be, he wasn't like a big bouncy personality. He would just kind of sidle up to you and chat to you and get to know you. Felt very easy going. And thoroughly knew his Bond, and was very, very thoughtful and inclusive and stuff like that. So it just felt like a naturally, because I was like, at the time I was like, well, there's a lot of Bond fans with a lot of opinions. Do I need to be combating those day to day? And then I thought, well, I could take that viewpoint, or I could take the viewpoint that, hey, we're getting together to watch movies, and we're having a laugh and enjoying them, and it was just such a buzz. I was like, this feels right. With the right people, it rolls on itself. If it's just if it just clicks, it's fine. If you don't click with the people, you'll be like, okay, maybe I'll attend a screening for fun and go home straight away. But if you do click, it's like, oh yeah, let's do this again, and let's have a beer afterwards, and let's connect.
We definitely do that.
Yeah, we definitely do that. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a pub
really what we did.
Yeah, there's a pub right by where we do these, so we just go straight there afterwards. So
and Tuesdays are 2-for-1, which is
it's great.
Geez.
It's good. It's a little dangerous,
getting better all the time.
I know.
You really
it's as if you planned it, lads. It's as if you planned it.
If you planned it,
yeah.
But we do something similar after each screening. There's a pub nearby where we go, and sometimes like the screenings are brilliant, but the crack is even better after the screening. We talk about everything and anything, James Bond, and even just families, friends. People just chat about everything. It's great, just social, getting to know people better. Like the amount of discussions, and like if you're one week group talking, and then on down the table you hear another discussion, you're sort of going, geez, I'd love to be part of that discussion, and you sort of work your way around. Maybe later on have a bit of crack. So yeah, it's a great way to meet people.
By the way, Sean has licensed the term crack, which you can use for a small fee.
I've heard it. No, I know what it means.
Sorry.
I know what it means.
Disclaimer.
No.
It's the same with, as Sean's just saying there, that the crack that's had. Men our age don't make new friends.
Yeah, it's hard.
Hard. Not often. Yeah.
Which has definitely happened through this club.
Yeah, no, it's very good. Yeah. And what's also great tonight, one of my oldest friends who lives in I met him in New York. I've known him for like 30 years. We became friends in college through James Bond. He lives here now. He's going to bring his two sons actually to Thunderball for the first time. So it's kind of like a full circle thing. It's kind of
that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Yeah,
works. Yeah, he was the best man at my wedding, so it's fun.
Amazing.
But Bond, because I remember in my dorm room in college, I didn't know anybody. So GoldenEye was about to open. So there's all these specials on TV, and I was watching it in my dorm room, and he was friends with my dorm mate, whom I didn't like, but that's okay. But anyway, but he came to see my dorm mate who wasn't there, and then he was like, "Wait, are you watching? What are you watching? GoldenEye stuff?" And I said, "Yeah." So then he sat down and watched like a special and then a full Bond film with me. And then my doormate came in late night, and then so we just became friends, and here we are. We don't even remember that guy, but we're still like we're all friends now.
You'll be listening to this episode.
I know, right? Yeah. So it is funny how mutual interest can really like bring people, and I think the world is such a crazy place now. I think it's really great to bring people in one location.
I agree. Yeah,
play very positive. So
and this whole thing, like when Neil and I met to do this, like just like right away, it just felt like we feel like we would have known each other, as long.
We have similar interests in movies and stuff and books and everything. So
we're like the same age.
We are the exact same
We're literally
age.
A month apart. He's beginning of August.
Oh, really?
Beginning of October.
Yeah, we check all the boxes of a Bond fan. So
both Irish, so
Irish.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, there we go.
Come on in.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because when I was in Switzerland, I met now a good friend of mine, Tom Ryan, and Tom and I were like, "Oh, you're Irish?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm Irish." And we were like, "Where from Ireland?" And it turned out we both grew up in exactly the same street, in exactly the same small town.
Wow.
Like, what, did the cosmos just open up and go, we're going to create a lot of Bond fans in this exact spot
there you go.
In County Tipperary? So yeah, it's funny. Little coincidences like that are funny, but it is nice to be able to meet. And the thing is, when you have these connections like this, you're like, I want to go to LA now. I want to get a group going to LA, and I want to figure out, Well, I know I should, but there's the small matter of the wife. Hey, I'd love to go to.
No sleep at all that weekend.
Yeah. One of the nicest things we did, you might have read about it, we did a Richard Maybaum tribute at his grave, and that was really nice. I didn't realize he was buried here until about a year ago, I found it, and it's very secluded. You can't really find it unless you know where it's at. So we were able to. So we did like a whole thing, like about 10 people came, but that was fine too. And we all went to a pub afterwards, but we read selections of his writings and we played clips. David Zaritsky contributed, Joe Darlington, a lot of people. Steve Rubin contributed. Who else?
AJ Chowdhury.
Yeah, a lot of people. We just
Roland Hume.
Yeah, they were very into like
super.
It was really nice just to like. We had to ask permission, but the cemetery was like, sure, that's fine. They had no idea what it was, but that was fine.
They project movies onto the sides of mausoleums.
So they're like
I think what we were doing was totally fun.
We're all right.
Yeah, they're kind of a party.
Are they the family friendly ones, or are they the tribute ones, Steve? Like the tribute to For Your Right.
Yeah, I know.
Definitely it was fun. Friendly.
But it's been good. It's been good to just meet different people, and some people come like once or they come twice. We don't see them again, but there's about. It's about like 6 to 7 regulars that we always like see, and
that's great.
Hopefully we can grow more on that. But there's people that just come to the screenings or just come to the meet, or they come to everything. And I mean, it's been fun. I mean, it's been really fun. It's been really great. So
it's what we find. It's what we find as well. Yeah. People are at different stages of life, for want of a better word.
Yeah.
Could be young families, marriage, new house. There's a load of different things, new jobs. So like we find we have a bit of a core group as well, and then you get somebody coming for a screen and might come to the next one, but back to the next one, and life gets in the way sometimes. But look, we have these screenings on every couple of months, so like every time, more than welcome. Come on ahead if you can make it. You make it all the better, So
like people write me like, "I'm sorry, I can't come to Thunderball. I feel so bad." And I'm just like, it's totally okay. Yeah, I understand, but they're telling it like their soul is like crushed, and I'm like, I'm not the gatekeeper of James Bond. It's fine, but thank you for letting me know.
Their soul would be crushed if you wouldn't go to see Thunderball or a Bond film, because who doesn't want to? But I think one of the nice things that we are lucky to have here is that the conversation continues then online. Yeah. So if we're not in person, it just carries on. There was a chat the other night about what's your favorite one-liner from the Bond films, and it just skyrockets.
There.
And I think it's wonderful to have that level of engagement and community that we've got going here. Is fantastic.
Yeah, we did a podcast.
Do you have that as well? Sorry, Neil. Do you have like a Facebook or WhatsApp group with the core gang that you just have sort of offline chats with as well?
Well, we have a Facebook page, so people like talk on that and stuff, and we text back and forth with the regular guys and stuff. So that's been good. So I've been thinking about doing more of like a larger text text group though. But I mean, we're constantly thinking of things that we can do to like grow it and all of that. So I mean,
well, you asked us earlier what our goals were. What would you consider yours? And I'm conscious that you have a busy day ahead, and we're eating up a lot of your time.
No,
but
we
if
have time.
You were to say, oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, then tell me what would your goal? What would you like to see the club do, and what would you like to see more people getting involved for?
I mean, the screenings are going to go on they're going to do them all. So we're going to at least do it for another 3-4 years, I guess.
Great.
So that's going to be one of the.
And then we can start over.
Oh yeah. Well, they've talked about other spy movies, so I mean, there's a lot of options for us and stuff. So, but I think I would love to have. I mean, I think conventions are great, but I mean, they're really hard to pull off and getting people together.
Yeah.
But I think the goal. I mean, we like doing the events within reason. We don't want to lose our shirts or anything like that. I think we always make a joke that these are becoming like mini conventions, and I think that'd be really like a fun thing to shoot for. Like our year anniversary is in March at the Culver Theater, and they have a party room. I think that'd be really fun. I mean, I think things like that, like merchandise, like people have asked about like mugs or T-shirts, and I think things like that. And you have to be careful because it's a copyrighted thing. So, but I
maybe get caught more with it over there than we do here.
Oh yeah.
We do have some brands.
Ollie, shush.
You guys have tons of merch. I've seen that. So yeah.
But we do have like some brands. Like I won't say any names that we've been talking to yet until like everything's like 100%. But we have like a couple people that have reached out to us. We're like, whoa, okay, and they want to like come to do things at future screenings and so that's
great.
And it's also too. It's kind of how do I put this? Like we were really taking it slow.
And we are still actually,
and because we don't
know
want
this seems huge, but we actually are.
Because we're trying not to bite off more than we can actually chew. We don't want to get overwhelmed or stressed. We want to keep this.
It's very fun for us to plan it. It's a diversion from life in a way. So
you need to keep it. You need to keep it fun because as soon as it becomes a chore, you don't.
It's never not fun.
Oh
yeah. So keep it fun.
Keep
it fun. But, so are we going to see the new Doo-Doo teddy bear out soon then? The next screening or what?
I guess so. I mean, I'd love to see it segue into when the new movie comes out and see what we can contribute towards that. I mean, I'm guessing it's 2028, and that's what it seems like it's going to be. But I hope not.
That long?
That's what they say. I don't know.
That's what the logistics look like. It might batter out to be, but we remain optimistic for 2027. But look,
I would love that
at this point, as long as there's something coming, as long as there's something coming. And so far, the signs have been good. I think Amy Pascal and Denis Villeneuve are
I'm very positive.
They're great. Yeah,
I think it was crazy when it was released, when the Broccolis moved on. I mean, I was sad and I was very shocked, but people were like angry beyond belief, and my first reaction was like, okay, at least there's going to be a brand new film happening soon, and let's just see where this goes, because they're financially invested in this, so they're not going to screw it up. So I mean, they're going to do what you want. They're going to probably give you.
Wasn't it funny as well that some of the people who were so annoyed that the Broccolis moved on were the same ones ripping them new a-holes for the choices they had made in previous films. Like, you can't have your cake and eat it, buddy. This is the reality of the situation. I mean, it slightly worried me that the rumors that were coming out that Broccoli didn't get on with the creatives involved. That was like, oh, okay, why? What is it? What's that about? But honestly, David Heyman, Amy Pascal, these guys they know what they're doing. Villeneuve is incredible,
and they're fans.
But and they're fans, 100%. And also, I think they understand as well that there was a comment on a podcast recently that's like IP is the star these days. Like individual movie stars aren't necessarily making bank anymore. It's the IP is the star, and they're not going to piss all over the IP the golden goose that they have just paid so much money for, right?
And
so we gotta hope that they know what they're doing in that regard.
I mean, I haven't spoken to them, but they're very much aware of what we do, and they've been nothing but nice and approving. The theater.
Super.
I mean, so
their offices are right next door to
MGM
the
is right next to where we are.
No way.
Yeah.
Whoa.
There's a giant MGM neon sign that's right next to us. So I mean, it's like
here's a question.
Yeah.
Is it potentially an optimistic time for clubs like us? Do you feel like perhaps with a new perspective, new people involved, that they might be more open to engaging fans in a way that maybe Eon was not?
I think so. I was thinking about it last night, actually, because I watch YouTube Bond stuff each night when my son goes to bed. But anyway, but I mean, it's just like, I think,
don't we all?
Yeah, I know, right? I just think it's, I think right now it's a really positive time. I think there's a new, and first of all, I respect the Broccoli's. They did great work for many, many years. But I think Amazon also has a history of engaging fans, whether it's through Lord of the Rings or other things. And I suspect that they will probably tap into that because they need to bring in more youthful. I mean, for it to continue, and I don't want to be Debbie Downer here, but they need younger people to keep it, fan base to keep it on. And I think they're going to, I hope, fingers crossed, they're going to look at what's out there and who's out there throughout the world. And that'd be great for you guys to be used, for us to be used. That'd be wonderful. So,
I share the optimism on the clubs as well, because not only are you going to have all the hype that will inevitably come with a new movie and bringing in a whole new raft of casual observers and new fans and existing, but I think you're going to find these movies are probably going to appear even more so on TVs and networks. Everyone's going to be piggybacking on that. It's a great time to go look out for clubs, and for clubs to get out there actually and to say, here we are. There's more of this conversation going on over here.
Yeah. I mean, I think for the next film, it's going in my lifetime. My lifetime for Bond, for seeing them at the movies, it was GoldenEye, Casino Royale, and the next one is probably going to be even bigger than those in terms of like how much promotion they're going to do to get people to come. So I think they're going to. I mean, I hope they're going to pull everything that they can do. So I mean,
guys, I know this is your podcast, but it just occurred to me that we never started with the ground rules. Like, we need to establish our creds here.
Okay.
What was your first film? And who? What got you into Bond? And who's your favorite Bond? Neil, start with you.
With me or Steve? Sorry, me.
No, you go first. Neil.
Go first. Yeah.
Okay. What got me into Bond was I was at a thrift store when I was 13 years old, and there was a bunch of discount books, and they had a giant stack of Bond novels. And my dad saw me looking at them, and it always is someone's dad, but they were but my dad was like, I think you should read these. And they were like $5 for like 8 of them. So he bought them for me, and I read them all. And then I continued. I would read a book and watch the corresponding film, and I did it for them all. And Fleming became kind of he is. He's kind of a god for me in like writing and lifestyle. I mean, not all of the stuff he did, but I think just in terms of how to live your life and just write and enjoy things. So I got into that, and so then Dr. No was the very first one that I ever saw, and I still love it and have a real fondness for that and the novel. And I think it's fun. I mean,
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's great. And my favorite Bond is Sean Connery, but I feel like a broken record because everybody says that though. But Timothy Dalton, I have a very big soft spot for after that. So
that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's a one of a quite unique entry into the books through your dad. I mean, that's lovely. That's really nice. So straight into you. That's basically straight to university for you with the novels.
I love the books. I love the books. I love his writing. I love the way. I mean, people have issues with the way he is in the films versus the books, but I think starting with him first actually just made me enjoy everything. Some people have problems that they say he's too cold or he can't write, but Fleming is just a very fascinating human, but also just in terms of a writer, he's just top notch. So,
nice.
Yeah. So
and Neil, can I ask a quick question? Who do you picture when you read the novels? Who you picture in any particular, or is it
I always picture Sean Connery, actually. So I always picture Sean Connery. Okay. Yeah, I just really. I mean, I love Sean Connery, and then my other favorite franchise was Indiana Jones, and so the two of them in both my franchises blew my mind at a young age. So, but I just
Indiana Jones's father is James
Bond.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
perfect.
So, but I just always picture him as that. So, so.
It's one of my favorite non-Bond roles as well. The Dr. Henry Jones one is just so good in that. Yeah,
they just improv the whole thing for the majority of
really.
The time. A lot of it. Well, they would take the script and they would just.
He's so not Bond in that movie either, or in any other of his roles. He's very macho, manly, and in this one, he's like clutching his books and no, they're trying to kill us, Junior.
It's
a very good.
He still managed to get the girl, though, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is the thing is, from what I read, is that George Lucas wanted someone who was more like professory and more withdrawn, and Spielberg was like, well, if you're going to have Indiana Jones's father, it has to be James Bond. So so, and that's kind of where they went with that, though. So.
So Steve, really work with Woody Allen as Indiana Jones' father.
Steve, what about you?
I was 5, and it was the summer that Octopussy came out. And it was all over the TV, and I just kind of remember in the periphery hearing people on TV, like talk show hosts or whatever, talking about the name, and I can't say it. So I would say it and ask my parents, like, what's wrong with Octopussy, and get yelled at, especially by my mother. You can't say that name, and you're not going to see that movie. So just get it out of your head and don't even think about it. So I was like, all right. And then my dad would sometimes on a Saturday, he was active duty military for about 22 years. So at this time we were living in Texas, and he would just, take me on a Saturday morning to a matinee. And we'd usually see a re-release of like Star Wars or Superman or whatever was playing in the theater. And one Saturday he didn't say what it was. And all of a sudden it's Octopussy and James Bond, and just had all these flashes of the razor blade yo-yo and the plane and just all these incredible images. And I was so excited. And we, as we're going home, my dad's like, so we're just going to, about first thing I said when I walked into the house was, oh my God, Mom, Octopussy was amazing. She starts yelling at my dad, and it's a whole thing in the kitchen. And to this day, my father's like, that never happened.
Lies.
I never wanted to see that. I don't know. But I was like,
I thought it was a film about cats.
Yeah. And then I was just off to the races. And I remember really getting into that. And then I think the second one I saw was Live and Let Die. It was like the ABC Sunday night movie. And I watched it at my grandparents' house. And because the song too was really exciting. And I said, that's a James Bond movie? Oh, cool. And then Moonraker changed my life. That opening sequence with the
that's not a sentence one hears a lot. But
I know, but it did.
I went to a screening with you
when I turned 18. My dad said, because I always wanted. My dad was Army Airborne, and after that, I taped it off of TV, and I just rewind that opening sequence over and over and over again. It was the most exciting thing I had ever seen. And
it's a great sequence.
And it's just like, and all those Mission Impossible movies, man, they owe everything to that opening. And I remember telling my dad, like, oh man, that would just be, especially like the way they were moving and diving and all that stuff. And
then you watch the features on how they did that. That was insane.
Holy cow!
They fell off a plane like 30 times.
And it was nuts. So when I turned 18, my dad said, hey, you still serious about jumping out of an airplane? And because his buddy was a Green Beret Golden Knight.
Yeah.
And
Jesus Christ.
And I said, I'm serious about it. And he goes, okay, well, if you do it, you're going to do it. You're not going to do a tandem jump. You're going to get trained. And they made me, I've told the story on Alex Lamas's podcast, Always Say Yes to Adventure. And they made me literally climb out onto the wing.
This doesn't sound
the
safe
airplane.
At all.
I had to walk out and climb, and like in a Bond movie, and wait for these guys to climb over me, and we jumped together, and it was all because of Moonraker. So whenever we get to talk to John Glenn, I'll have to tell him it's all your fault.
That is
Steve. I have to ask Steve, when you were doing the jump and you're going down, what was going in your head? Were you going or
like absolute terror?
I'm Moonraker. I'm doing it.
I will say, The one time I thought about Bond while I was up there was when I was actually hanging on to the wing of the airplane.
Oh my God!
I had only one foot kind of
he told me this
on the strut.
Petrifying, yeah.
Oh yeah, but it was also all of the fear and all that stuff went away because it was, well, you're hanging off of an airplane now, so you're doing this. And the other thing was, how does James Bond do this on a regular basis? This is the hardest thing I've ever done. Because as hard as you can imagine that would be, and it was really hard for me. I was 18, I weighed like 70 pounds. So it was like doing this, when you're out of the airplane. Yeah. But I just remember thinking this is an impossible task. And holy cow, James Bond, how do you do this, man? Like, especially the stuntmen too. It's like, wow. So this is why he's a fictional character.
This is why
can't do this.
Yeah, say Roger Moore could only do it once, and he'd have to hand over to the stunt double then.
I know, right?
He only needed to do it once.
I know. Like in Diamonds Are Forever. Hey, you've played this game before.
Just once. Very good. And that's definitely, those are two of the best Bond intro stories.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Mine is a little more low key than his, but
yeah, everyone's is a little bit more low key than his.
Mine's like at a thrift store, but that's okay. So, anyway,
yeah, but we ended up at the same place.
Yeah, that's yeah, we did.
Best thing. That's the best thing. Yeah.
I too actually had Octopussy as my entry point. That sounded ruder than I meant it to, but it was like
there you go.
Champagne's kicking in again.
I know. Matron. But yeah, that was. It's a great one for kids, isn't it? I mean, just
I love Octopussy.
Yeah,
like people slag that film, but I really, it's super fun. I just watched it again. It's very fun. So,
yeah, it is good. It is good. Yeah.
The nasty habit of surviving, Mr. Bond.
I love
Roger
Moore.
What they say about the fittest.
Roger Moore in that movie really has, like, he walked that perfect line of just the right amount of silliness and the right amount of seriousness.
Yeah, because
like in the beginning when he's dressed as Toro, when he flips the guy's lapel up.
Funny.
Yeah, brilliant.
But then against Stephen Burkoff, he's hard as nails. I'm like, I love that. Yeah.
I was like,
listen, guys, I'm going to interject for really quickly because I'm going to have to jump some. But please send our regards to everyone at the screening today from James Bond Club Ireland.
Oh, we will. Absolutely.
And I know exactly how you feel when people like, Schenkman or Rubin or whatever, because we met Raymond Benson recently, who's
amazing.
Well, so just let them know that we're out there and we're sending our love to everyone in LA. And if anyone is ever traveling to Ireland, hook us up. We'd be delighted. I'm going to let these guys keep talking, but please stay in touch, and we'd love to do something like this again.
Yeah.
But for now, I got to jump off.
Thank you.
Lovely talking to you.
Don't jump off the plane.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you very much.
Happy anniversary. Enjoy Spain.
See you guys.
Okay, see you later.
Good luck, Paul. Good luck.
Thanks.
Sure.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you later, Paul.
All right. Well, I didn't realize he'd be in Spain. That looks like he's having a wonderful time. So there we go.
We're playing him.
Yeah.
It's a tough job, but he doesn't.
It seems like it seems like it seems very hard.
And here, tell me, guys, what's your plans for the rest of the day? Then you're building up for the big event. Then
we got to go. We got to be there at 5:00. So, and I'm gonna meet Steve. You're gonna meet me, and then we're gonna go out there.
Yeah.
And then they have all this No Time to Die merchandise that they've had for like 4 years in their back room. So I think we're gonna go through it. I think Die Another Day we may raffle things off. So I think we're gonna look through stuff. They're like, "Did you guys want this stuff?" And I was like,
So
we were almost. We were like, "No, we want it."
Well,
there's no raffles.
I may see what they have. I may lay claim to something. So, but it's like tote bags and stuff, and like different things.
Brilliant.
And I think, and Luciana will be there at like 6. So we have a collector that brings like lobby displays, like vintage lobby displays from the movies. So he's actually gonna set them up at around 5, and so just basically preparing, and people come, and it's just saying hi to people and getting it.
On here, will you get a bit of downtime yourselves to actually enjoy it, or you?
Well, we're gonna stop at that pub right beforehand.
Yeah, we always hit the pub first.
Yeah, so we're gonna
good lads. I like it.
I like
it.
Stuff.
Yeah, and then
smooth the nerves a little.
But once it starts, it just goes, and we have to like
once the plane is taken off, we're either hanging on or we're falling.
Yeah.
So.
Either way, you hit the ground.
It'll be fun. It'll be a nice. We didn't realize when we planned Thunderball, we planned it in like January, so we didn't realize when it came to this point that the interest would, because it's screened in Los Angeles a couple months ago, and Steve and I went for like a morning thing.
Right.
It was a good crowd, but it wasn't like what we have. So I think it shows that the film, there's a lot of interest still in that film, and like. And like what it is, and I think that's good. We're bringing people back, and I think it'll be fun. So it'll be
the Bond fans that have been coming to the screenings, like the first,
thank us. I'm like, don't thank me. So,
yeah.
So, I know. So
we when we did the first one, when we Dr. No, I thought, hey, I'll buy a Nehru jacket. That'll be kind of fun, and then that got a little more response than we actually expected. And even Neil said, "Oh man, you shot yourself in the foot. You got to dress up for time now." So
people come in like full tuxes.
But
and
yeah,
stuff.
but
Living Daylights,
people showed
I don't
up
do it,
dressing up, and it was great. So we're encouraging everybody to wear their cabana wear for this movie. So we'll see.
I'm wearing a sport coat. I'll be more severe, but
So,
but
we just have an interesting array of T-shirts, don't we? Whether it's Zorin or
nice.
Escobalante or
nice.
Yeah, no, it is. But it's great to get people together. And how good is it going to be tonight to be watching Thunderball or a Bond film with a full packed house?
It's good.
The reaction is going to be amazing.
I've never done it. I mean, I've seen the majority at the movies, and I've never been in like a packed house, so it should be great.
Yeah.
So
that'll be brilliant.
And the reaction, especially like I had never seen Thunderball on the big screen until this summer, and like for example, seeing that when we saw it at the Vista.
It's a theater in Los Angeles. So
it's one of Quentin Tarantino's theaters. So everything's 35 millimeter, and so they always
it's all on film. So
so very cool theater.
Yeah,
but I'll never forget like just the reactions.
Yeah,
or you watch this movie a million times at home, and you're kind of chuckling by yourself, but then all of a sudden Bond says, "See you later, Irrigator," and then the entire crowd loses it. Both times. So I'm like, there's certain gags that I'm really looking forward to a packed house. Tonight. There's always a fair amount of people that not only have they never seen it on the big screen, but they've never seen it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So this will be there. Like with Living Daylights, I asked how many people have never seen this at all.
There's a good amount.
And like a bunch of hands went up. So that was really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, well, our last show, we had a pigeon scare the crap out of everybody, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
We did. We've had pigeons and cats and anything else that John Lennon has thrown at us. So at one point, the whole theater of all of us just jumped about 8 feet into the air. It's so funny. And I think the anticipation of it happening is just...
It's a 4D film now.
Yeah.
It is.
Brilliant.
Do you guys work through a distributor, or I'm curious, like where do you get the films from?
No, we work with it's like an independent cinema.
Cool.
So they have a deal, and then sort of we would just talk to them, and they're happy enough to share films. Yeah, so it's as Paul was saying earlier, John had got in touch with them a number of years ago. They're one of the most cost-effective sort of cinemas we can work with, because a lot of the other sort of franchise cinemas cost an awful lot of money to hire the cinema for the afternoon. So it's actually based in a university, so that limits the cost again.
Oh, great!
Yeah, so we have our tickets. It's normally €20 just to come along, and it's more we try and cover the cost of the cinema, and then we normally have a charity for each year. So this year our charity is the Irish Cancer Society.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay.
That's good.
So we're trying to raise money for them. So our A View to a Kill screening was actually in around the anniversary of John's passing, the first anniversary. So we use that as our charity screening, and for the rest of the year, any sort of money we make, it's small, but like we make a few pounds.
It's good money,
and we'll end the year we'll just be passing that on to our charity of the year. So they do brilliant work, and it's great to support them.
Beautiful.
So
yeah.
So
It's good to work with people like that, because that was our concern. Like, how do we show these movies and not have to pay for each single one. So because we know people that have done that, and if you screen it individually, like Steve knows somebody, it's expensive, right?
Yeah, it gets upwards of like $500 or something just for the night. For the right to show it. And
so we've been fortunate, and you guys are too.
Like you guys were very fortunate, I think, with having that partnership and that relationship that John had set up, really. And I mean, they were very supportive of us even at the time of John's passing, and eager to continue the relationship. I think, which says a lot about what he did for us. And that legacy again that continues.
John had passed, and we then carried out like a double screening. It was Mom with the Golden Gun and Goldfinger, and they put it up free of charge, and so we raised a few pounds for charity. But we've had a great, and I may as well give them a shout out. It's the UCD cinema in Dublin. The Owen and the gang down there, they're brilliant, and they couldn't be better to work with, I have to say.
Nice.
Awesome.
Well, John seemed nice. John seemed super nice. I watched his video, and I was wondering what you guys were up to, and then I looked at he had passed like after I watched it, and I was like, oh man, he seems so nice. So, but it's good that you guys have continued things on, so that's really great. So
well, put it this way, it's taken 4 of us to do what he used to do on his own.
I know it does take up our time.
Just about.
Surprisingly, it takes a lot.
How did he do it?
I know. I told Steve, like, I couldn't do this by myself, and I mean, it takes a chunk of our time. And I mean, I have my own life, I have my son, my wife, and so I take a part of my day just to do things, but it definitely does take time. So
you just have to wait until they become late teenagers, and then they don't want to know you. Then
I know, right? Yeah, well, I can wait for that. Yeah, right. I know, right? Well, you guys have been great. I really appreciate this. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
It's been super fun. Yeah, we should all speak once more though, and we'll keep you updated on Thunderball and what happened and all that. We'll put it on Facebook.
Please do. And will you be putting sort of a few pictures on social media and all that, or what we? Good. Can't wait to see it.
No, it's gonna be a good night. I'm trying to mentally picture what it'll be like, but I have no idea. So it'll be definitely filled with people, I'm sure. So
it'll be good. It'll be good. I hope it all goes well. And
we just definitely want to get Luciana settled and happy, and then and I think everything else will fall into place.
You'll be happy, and it'll all work out.
So see, we could do the same in another couple of months, and we can introduce it, and then that's a podcast.
There you go. I know, right?
Perfect.
Well, both of you guys can. Well, you can post it, and we can post it. It can be
cool
YouTube. So sweet. Okay, guys. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay.
All the best.
Cheers. All right. Thanks for having us, Steve.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Great to see you.
Good to see everybody.
Bye bye.
That night we went to the Texas bar. We came back out, me horse and car. Met Big Jim and we all went in for the drinks and wine.